Hey guys, this video is to show you what amp parts to use for the 177. A lot of people know to use the 177, but they don't know to use the Raplac or the Propa. So this video is to help you guys out with that. I mean, there's a lot of long-time hunters and they still don't know how to use it. There's a quick guide to know when to use it. So it's, am I going to do enough damage to the Eidolon shields with the Raplac? The Raplac's the one on the 177, or the Propa, and that's the secondary fire, mouse button by default, on the 177. The last 7 is just the brace, which is the additive bonus on your primary and secondary firing mechanisms. Think of P as in primary for prism, S as in scaffold for secondary, and B as in brace for bonus. So let's see here. Just wasting my shots, Matter Void Strike, and we're going to be charging up as much Matter Void Strike as possible. We have 4-ish minutes before night starts, but this is just to help you guys out with getting that that one shot. Now, the Raplac, it's very simple. You need about 5 times multiplier of Matter Void Strike. So this is Void Strike from Materai. We're up in the top right. Looks like 2 mountains. The top number is how many shots we have. The bottom number is how much multiplier of damage. On the terror list, we need about 5 times multiplier, and that will 5.5, and that will be enough to one shot if we crit and get a wisp. I'll also be shooting through a shield. If I don't have 5, then it's good to just Propa. Now, keep in mind, on the terror list only has 4 shields. So we have 8 shots. So it's alright to be shooting a Propa and then a Raplac. I typically will shoot 2 Propas and the rest Raplac until the Eidolon shield is down on the terror list. And that's because it doesn't matter if we restack on the terror list. Like, for example, we have 8 shots, and it only takes 5 shots. If we shoot 2 Propa shots and the rest Raplac, that's actually all of the energy that you have in your amp. And that's going to give you the most DPS for your energy. Now, if I shot 3 Propas, I could shoot a few Raplacs, I think like 2 or 3. But the problem with that is, it's not going to give me as much damage for my energy. Now, keep in mind the Raplac has a 92% chance it's going to crit, which is really, really reliable. There's no way to get 100%, but 92 is pretty much 100. Compared to the Propa, which is an 80%. That's a big difference. And consistency is key, because what's not consistent you can't rule out. So we are going to be 2 more minutes. Okay, cool. Give me 2 seconds. So the very first run, you really don't have to be watching how much Matter Void Strike you got, because you're going to be charging up typically. More than 2 minutes is plenty for a good hunter. 5 minutes you should be getting into the plains. I like to recruit around 15 minutes because it gives me time to find 3 other people with the coordinated roles, and you know, guys, while you're sitting here invisible, talk to your squad. Make sure you know what's going on, because if you're not all on the same page, you might just get frustrated and all cranky, and they'll get cranky at you for not knowing. And how did you know not to know? You know what I'm saying, guys? It's a really good idea. I mean, back in the day, we used to be in the plains charging. Back in the very first, when the Gauntless and Hydralisk just came out, We were in the plains by 15 minutes, charging up our Matter Ray Void Strike, in explaining and in teaching each other all the rules and like not all the rules, but all the information we gathered throughout the other hunts that we played before them. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just if you're not on the same page, you're gonna be all messed up. Anyway, so we're just about ready. Alrighty. We're gonna dash out 4 times than normal, but I'm just gonna be doing the amp and when to use it really on this run. Now you see the tier list over there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't spawn any Vombalus for my shield break. My DPS, that's alright. So, shield. Dash the Eidolon's head. Grab a wisp. I'm going to shoot a Propa, but realistically I could have shot a Raplock there. The very first run really doesn't matter. I think I'm going to have the first 2 runs on this video actually. Okay. And I'm realistically just going to Raplock it. Whoops. I didn't crit. Oh, that's funny. Typically you're going to Raplock anytime you have these numbers. And like I said, the tier list is like 5.5. Remember, the more time you're charging, the more damage you're going to have. That's why it's really good that the DPS is hitting them corresponding to my shields. So I only had to put down 2 shields on the tier list, which is great. So the less time I'm in my Warframe casting abilities, the more time I have to be charging up Matter Ray Void Strike. Okay, I'm just gonna pre-shield here. Remember guys, when the Propa hits something, it immediately will blow up. Whoops, I just didn't mean to do that. Well, I tried getting that wisp, but... So, for example, you've seen how I put them down the ground, because the elevation is going up as a hill. So it's going to hit the hill first before it hits, well, nothing, because it takes a few seconds before, when you shoot your Propa, before it explodes. The first spawn doesn't really matter, and I'm going to shoot 3 Propas, typically, on the water shield of the Eidolon. And that's just because you have 8 shots, and the very first shield of every Eidolon has twice as many hit points than the rest. So I have 8.5. Perfect. So I want to be shooting my Raplock if I have 8.11 or higher multiplier of Matter Ray Void Strike during the during the run. So if I have that and I crit, that's gonna be all the Eidolon shield, and it's all it is 8.11 or 8.5 or something like that. I'll have a little sheet up here at the end, and you'll see. So that's with a wisp and with a crit. So if I get a wisp, the little wisps are falling, and I get a crit, That will be enough damage. Okay. Got one more shot and one more limb. Great. Oh, I didn't get a wisp. Oh, I had enough. Whew. Maybe I did. I don't know. I didn't even realize. All right. So let's see here. Once the last limb has been broken, I'm going to look up at my Madurai Void Strike. If I do not have 8 shots, I'm going to waste them and make sure I have 8 shots. Because you cannot divide a lower number into... the Eidolon has 6 shields, right? And I have 8 shots. We're going to be shooting 3 shots in the very first shield. And that's all 3 players are shooting 3 shots in the very first shield minimum. And then we're going to be shooting 1 shot after that each shield. So by charging up Madurai Void Strike, as soon as the last limb has been broken, you're going to have just enough Madurai Void Strike to be one-shotting those next shields. If you see here, I have 8.5 already. That's enough for a Gaunt, but we need 10.5 for the Hydro. I'm still charging up my Madurai Void Strike while I'm putting the shards in the shrine. And I shoot 3 Propas typically, but I knew... I seen that critical hit, and I just knew that it was definitely going to be a enough damage. Okay, so I want to have 10.5 times multiplier, and if I know I have 10.5, that's great. I know that my Raplac is going to be able to one-shot. So the only time I'm using Propa, guys, is on the very first shield. Now, don't get confused. You're going to be using Propa on other times too. This is just the very first run. So, and you crit a lot more with the Raplac, so that's why you really want to be using that. It's so helpful. 80% is 20% you're not going to crit, and probability says it's about 80% you're not going to crit, basically. Oh, I didn't get a wisp here. Oh, there we go. Okay. Grab my wisp. Remember, wisps do not stack, and since they do not stack, you don't want to be grabbing any more than 1. After you realize you've collected a wisp, that's your time to get out of there, so someone else can grab it if there's other people on the team. And there's most likely would be. So, for example, your shots here, a Madurai Void Strike, like I said, at the end of the Eidolon, you're going to be making sure you have 8. You can shoot a fast-firing pistol or secondary weapon, I should say. We'll be able to waste them a lot faster. Or what I like to do is just Void Blast the ground. Look at this. I'm wasting my my shots just by Void Blasting the ground. I jump and Void Blast the ground. And in Void Blasting, honestly uses the same energy as what an energy pad recovers. So that allows me to just expend my shots very fast. And I'm still able to charge up. It's just really convenient. I'm already an operator. I don't need to be having a different prism or secondary fire. All right. As a VS, typically I'm going to be client, and that allows me to just stay in the gate. I'm going to dash out 4 times. Spawn those bombs. Huh? Oh, they're there. I'm going to mark them for DPS and go directly to Eidolon. Put down my shields. Get ready to dash Eidolon's head. That's activating my virtuous shadow. Oh, there we go. Grab a wisp. 2 Propas. Rest Raplac until it's gone. That's all it is on the very first. Super easy. Now, you notice I only have 3 shots left. That's not good. But it's plenty fine, and it actually doesn't matter on the terror list. So, make sure I got both my buffs. Shoot Propa, and then I'll shoot a Raplac. Since I had the shots left over. Now I have no more shots left over. That's alright. Because what I'm doing now is restacking for the next shield. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with the terror list very first shield. But remember, the second time you break a shield, he doesn't have nearly as much shield. The very first shield of every Eidolon has twice as much hit points. As long as you have a fully charged lure attached to him, and he does not teleport, it will not matter. He will not have as much hit points as when he did when he started. Okay, I have 1 shot left over. I'm going to waste that 1 shot and start charging up 8 shots of Matter Ray Void Strike for the next Eidolon. I'll shoot 3 Propas on the water shield and then continue on with 1 shot for each shield after that. And I'm only using Propa if I have to restack. So maybe in the Gauntlet list or a Hydra list, if I, for example, ran out of shots, something happened, and I need to have those extra shots, that's no problem. Because what I can do is I can shoot 2 Propas and the rest Raplac until the last limb is broken. And then continue on with my charging up as soon as the last limb's broken and getting that all done. So you see how I'm placing down shields before the Eidolon actually spawn? These are just pre-shields. You don't have to be doing this. I wouldn't recommend pre-shielding on any runs that are less than a 5x3, so 4x3 or less. That's when you typically pre-shield. 4x3 or higher. I would pre-shield. Really, realistically, anything of a 5x3 or higher. That's all right. I got my wisp. Shoot through the shield. Okay, 2 shots, good enough. Don't rush. If you don't get a wisp on the very first run and you have 4 people, that's completely all right. It's just because wisps only spawn underneath the Eidolon, right? Now I'm going to show you guys a little bit extra info on the shooting mechanism of an amp that will enhance your game even further. But I have to... Okay, there we go. So, notice how I have 13. This could be any number, of course. It's just how much I have gathered so far. Now, as long as I do not go out of void mode, when I shoot, what's going to happen is I'm dealing the equivalent of 13 percentage. Like the number that I previously had. That number is what is going to be. Whatever number's showing when I shoot is how much is delivered to the Eidolon. Now, that might not seem like significant information, but what this really foretells is that if I am charging up Matter Ray Void Strike now, I have a 17.65, and I go out of void mode just before I shoot. I go out of void mode, now it shows 19 times damage. And that give me that extra bit of damage. Because I'm still going to use my 1 shot on every shot I do. But if I go out of void mode just before I shoot, what that does is gives me that extra oomph of damage. Now there's times to do this and times not to do this. I can only guide you of how much damage multiplier you need in order to 1-shot. I can't do anything further than that. Whether you use the information or not is all up to you guys. Energy pads are a godsend, and realistically, that's all I can do. I can teach you how things work. Okay. If you want these pre-shield locations, There's plenty of guides on the internet where these are, but if you want to make your own, it's pretty simple to do. And all that is you notice how the Eidolon is always walking out of the water or walking from a spot, and then he is stopping at the shore. See how he's coming out of the water and he's walking to the shore. Oh, sorry. Oh, my bad. So he's walking from the shore. All you have to do is, as soon as he walks to the end of the shore, just put down a lock pin. You get them from the Tenno Lab and the dojo. As soon as he's coming out of the water, he is vulnerable to shield damage. Even if he teleports, he's still vulnerable to shield damage. I have 12 times? Oh, I shot before. So that's the thing. I should have went out of void mode there to shoot my Raplat. Absolutely. I was trying to figure out what happened, but it was just I didn't go out of void mode before I shot. You can shoot while you're in void mode and while you're not in void mode. Obviously not in void mode, but the key is knowing when to shoot and when to go out of void mode, not to go out of void mode. And there is a time not to go out of void mode. For example, I'll show you. What? Oh, I didn't have a wisp. I was like, what? Okay, yeah. So you need to have both the buffs. It's 5.5 on the Terra list for Raplat. The Gauntlet list is 8.11, if I'm not mistaken, and the Hydra list is 10.5. And those numbers are just how much multiplier you need with a wisp and a crit. The Raplat is the best to get crit, and I did not do it. Oh, I did do it, but I didn't have any shots left. If I didn't have any shots, I typically should have shot a Propa and then a Raplat. But do as I say, not as I do most of the time. Just like on my streams. I stream every day. And Warframe's 99.5% of the time I stream. So definitely check me out there. Links in the down below. So I should be charging up my Mata Ray Void Strike. So the time's not to shoot. Time's not to be going out of void mode. It's this time. I have one shot left. Now keep in mind, this one shot is going to be a times 1.25. But I'm in void mode. Okay? And I'm going to be in void mode when I shoot. So watch this. Shoot. Now when I came out of void mode, I have 3.56 times multiplier on those next 8 shots. That's crucial. That's called overstacking. And a lot of people don't understand the mechanism of overstacking is you're in void mode. When you're in void mode, you shoot. Only when you exit, it accumulates onto the next shots of Mata Ray Void Strike. Once you have 0 shots, it automatically will go to 8 shots. Because, well, you can't shoot 0 shots. It's a rollover. It's very simple. So you're rolling over the time you've spent in void mode to give you the extra damage onto the next shots. Thanks a lot for that follow. Mr. Wicket. I have 2 times multiplier, okay. 2 Propas. And the rest Raplat. I didn't have a Shadow or a Wisp. That's alright. Sometimes, we're not robots. And with us not being robots, we mess up. That's all it is, guys. I don't expect anyone to be a robot. Well, this is good, honestly, guys. I'm sorry I'm not talking to you guys as much. I'm just trying to get this thingy done. Of course, the damage of a Propa is a lot more if it crits. But if it crits, you can't rely on 80% in this game. You really can't. 92% I can definitely rely on. But you can't rely on that little amount. Oh, I have 5.5. So what I'm going to do here, this is going to ensure that I get my virtuous shadow and a wisp, and then hope to the gods I crit. Hell yeah. Now, keep in mind, the easiest way to get virtuous shadow is this easiest way is to have as many activations of the arcane as possible. Virtuous shadow is the amp arcane, and it comes up as a little clover. This is 60% extra crit chance, and with the 60% extra crit chance, well, like I said, the more consistent something is, the better it will be. And the very end of the dash, do you see this little like pulse here? When I dash, you see that little pulse, right? That little pulse is another activation of our 40% chance to activate Virtuous Shadow. And with 40% chance, it's not very high, but having as many activations as possible is what's really key. The initial going forward of the dash and the end of the dash and also the backwards dash is all 40% chances that you're going to activate Virtuous Shadow. So Virtuous Shadow is the very end. I just basically want to be placing myself at the very end of the dash to hit the Eidolon's head. Remember, it's only activated on headshots. I could be shooting the Eidolon's head, but it's only a 40% chance. And I waste some of my Mad Ray Void Strike. I only got so many of those shots times a certain multiplier. So I want to make sure that things are met. But I don't want to be wasting my damage to get more damage. It doesn't make sense. Alright. It's not Blazing Dash. This Blazing Trail is not activating my Mad Ray Void Strike. I said not Void Strike, Virtuous Shadow. Okay. I mean, of course you're not going to crit sometimes with either of the amps, but it doesn't matter. That was actually pretty good time because I didn't crit there. But all this stuff is done live too on stream. Like I don't cherry pick it or nothing. This is seriously like it's a real run and it's a real explanation. I can't make this stuff up. I should have shot 2 Propus, but I'm going to shoot the rest for Aflac. And that's all there is to it. I have 3 shots left over. Last limb's broken. Waste all my shots. I'm Mad Ray Void Strike. A good place to waste your shots is underneath the Eidolon, because the Eidolon's spawning some Vombalus underneath them. And you need to destroy those. The more Vombalus the Eidolon sucks up, the more health he accumulates when he stands up. That's all it is. Okay, put down my shields. Now, the third spawn, you might be like, well, why do you put them up straight up? So I can shoot my own frame. And the Propa, when it goes out and it hits something, it'll explode. Some of you might be like, well, why don't you shield far spawn? Far spawn already takes you about 8 seconds before the limb is visible. There is ways to go around this with like the Zenith single fire or even it's just punch through. So having high punch through would be key. Whoa. I didn't have a wisp on the first shot, but that's alright. I can make do with 4, because I know these little tips. I want to make sure I have Mad Ray Void Strike, got a wisp, shoot through a shield. I have, I had to go, I didn't crit. I had to go out of void mode, because I knew I didn't have enough damage. So it's just all, I'm basically only looking right here. When I'm doing an Eidolon hunt, I'm dashing Eidolon's head, looking up at that corner, making sure I have enough stacks. Of course, doing my roll, whether I'm Harrow or Trinity or Volt. It's all the same thing. We're all VS, and VS is looking at Madurai Void Strike. I have 1 shot left. Remember that tip I told you guys about the overstacking? I'm not going to replace my shield. I'm going to use the previous shield already there, and I will shoot with that 10 times multiplier. But now I have 6 shots of 3 times, which is perfect. Now I can shoot the 2 Propas and the rest Rat Black. Look how fast that one went out. A lot faster than the 10 times plus, like, you know, it's as much duration as possible on Volts, guys, as a VS player. It's complete opposite of a shield breaker. Now, you see how I shot my Propa at the farther one? I should have been shooting at the closer one. The closer one is going to give me more damage, because everything explosion, anything that has an explosion radius, will actually have a fall off. So the very end of the explosion is going to do the weakest damage. The closer the explosion goes out to hit something, the higher the damage will be. And, well, Propa is a explosion paste. I want to be making sure that this is going to be hitting the Eidolon as soon as possible. And it's something else, like these water shields. The Eidolon's actually vulnerable right here, like right at this waypoint. That's all pre-shields are, is this location of where he comes out of the water. And if you wait long enough, he'll come out of the water and walk forward to the shore. He'll stop. Where he stops is where he is vulnerable. So I'm also going to put up in the same video here, it's going to be how to know where the Eidolon is spawning. Because yeah, you might have waypoints, but what side of the shore is he on? So there's lots of confusion with that. I have a pretty good explanation and trick. I have tricks for everything, guys. I'm full of tricks. Okay, so we dashed out 4 times, spawns and bombs, cool. Go to Eidolon. So we gotta wait. There's like there's a lot of spawns. I don't know how many there is. There's like 20 some, 30 some, maybe 18 or so spawns. I don't know how many it is for the Terrorist himself. Like I said, the closer the better. 2 Propas. Rest Rat Black. And I just shoot Rat Black until he's down. Rat Black itself is a hit scan weapon. So as soon as you shoot it, it hits. That's why you shoot the Propa first. Propa. Rat Black. Oh, down the Propa. Cool. The closer the better, guys, for the Volt Shields, because of that Propa fall off. Maybe not everyone's in the same stacks. Maybe, like, not everyone knows the same information you know, too, right? So it's always good to be on the same page as each other. Oh, I have 0 stacks, so I'm going to have to go to Void Mode when I... 0 multiplier damage. Yeah, that works. I didn't proc Virtuous Shadow. I got staggered. There we go. Then go to Void Mode. I mean, we're not perfect, guys. Okay. So I'm going to show you this Oh, I left a little early. Oh, you got 3 anyway. Okay. So, for example, I already have marked now of where the Eidolon's going to be getting called out, right? So let's put these down and explain. So the very first place I shielded was spawn 1. Spawn 2 was the second place, and spawn 3, and of course the far at the end of the lake. There's only 4 spawns of the Eidolon. Watch. When I'm at the shard, put the shard in the shrine. I dash out straight. 1, 2. He's to the right. He's literally going to be on top of my dash. If I'm standing right like where this energy pad is, 2 dashes straight out, and I'm on top of the energy beam that comes out, I go to the right. So let's do it when I'm on top of the energy beam. We take a turn. So 2 dashes straight out, and I will turn to the right. 3 dashes out, I'll turn to the left. 4 dashes out, I turn to the right, and any more, I go straight out. Definitely not hard with these tricks, I'm telling you guys. Remember that Virtuous Shadow, the Dashing Island's Head, and the Wisp. Oh, I didn't get a Wisp, that's alright. Maybe DPS wasn't able to spawn some. Oh, he did. If they just roll down the hill, that's alright. Nothing's perfect, guys. Trust me, there's 3 other humans. Oh, like, I just died. Oh, that's a good tip. So, if I die, I don't want to revive myself because my Virtuous Shadow... my Matarai Voice Strike shots would be gone. And that's no good. As well as my shields I place as a VS Volt. So there's time to revive yourself, time not to revive yourself. It's a lot of everything. But yeah, I guarantee you there's going to be 3 other humans on the party if you have a full squad. And we're just not perfect. We make mistakes. Sometimes you just don't get Virtuous Shadow. I mean, it's a 40% chance you're going to get that. It's not guaranteed. I don't want to put a shield down. So, since I'm Raplacking, there's no fall off. Or the fall off's actually insane. So I'm just going to go over here and just kind of shoot through this one. It's just all the same thing. So, maybe you guys are wondering how to dash forward and backwards. Dashing forward and backwards is pretty much the simplest thing in my eyes. Follow this rule. You're holding down crouch to go in void mode, right? How do you jump? You press the jump button. Okay, so a void jump is just hold down the crouch button and press the jump button, right? Yeah, exactly. You don't have to be holding forward to jump. You can just already jump. And to void, I just go in void mode. So I'm holding down crouch to jump. I do not hold forward to jump. So try it out. If you hold down crouch, hold down crouch and go in void mode. You press the jump button, you go forward. That's how it is. Now, how do I go backwards? Well, how do you usually go backwards? You hold the back button. So while I'm void jumping, I obviously have to be... Oops, I just erased the shield. No, I didn't. So to go backwards, I'm holding the backwards button. I don't let my finger off of crouch. I press the jump button. I hold the back button. I press jump. I let go of the back button. I press jump again. That's it. Yeah, you can dash aside if you want. I can go left or right. It don't matter. It absolutely does not matter. Sorry, I'm using your guys' questions. Oh, if you're holding down the forward button, dude. Okay, so the forward button will actually hinder you in the long run. What that's doing is it's putting... There's too many keybinds pressed. And when you're holding down too many different buttons on the game, it's not going to be able to register. It's not going to register your energy pads when you're dashing. Well, not always anyway. You see, on high ping, only so many packets get received. It's like timeout, all that crap. And you want to be using as many buttons as possible so you can press the energy pad button maybe if you needed it. Energy pad button, that's any button you want it to be. You can keybind anything off your gear wheel up to slot 12. See these slots here? So anything from slot 1 to slot 12, I can assign to a key. I just assigned slot 5 to tab, and whenever I need energy, I hit the tab button, And I can dash more because, well, energy pads give me that energy to dash and all that other stuff. But I'm not able to use energy pads while I'm dashing fluently if I, see what I'm saying? Like, it's just so fluent. I used about 4 energy pads there. Just to show you guys its fluidity of whatchamacallit, like not holding forward basically. Is this Hydro? Okay, cool. So there's other strategies. No, I'm holding down the crouch key the whole time. I'm built different. I mean, everyone uses so many pads in Eidolon hunts, and you think like, why do fucking Norgs look like Norgs, guys? Grabbing your loot as an operator, it allows you to dash right into the gate too. Super simple. So, I'm gonna give you another tip, I guess. Next, energize and Guardian. Whoo, that's some plat. If we had a nullifier, I think that'd be the most plat you can get in a run. A single run. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to be around that this waypoint here. And this waypoint is literally 159 meters away. But see, spawn some bomb. So I want to be an operator as long as possible. When I get to the Eidolon, I want to dash its head. Oh, he's this side. It's gonna be a little slower. Oh wait, thanks for the shield, bud. Yeah, it definitely is. So on the very first shield, typically, what people do is they have their frame on the other side here, and they'll shoot a shot, and then they'll shoot their frame, and it'll detonate the other shot that's shot with shooting 2 shots like that. Grenade! Okay, so the more time out of your frame, the less damage you're gonna have. Oh. And really, it's just that number game of checking how much multiplier and how much stacks you have. It's I might say it a lot, but that's literally all it is. Now, there's one thing I didn't tell you guys yet, and it's probably one of the most key things I probably haven't said yet. So let's get that over and done with. That's how the hell do I activate Virtuous Shadow on the water shield? Because, like I said, all of these numbers, like the 5.5, the 8.11, and the 10.45 or 10.45 is like those numbers. They're all activation ice. Are all enough damage to one shot with the rat black on the shields, right? But how do I activate Virtuous Shadow on the water shield? So I will show you where you see these little lock-ins, right? This is where the Eidolon's coming out of the water. Now, where he's coming out of the water, I'm going to be void dashing. As long as I move, see how I moved a little bit there? I'm not moving very much, but I'm moving still. As long as I move with my dash, I am able to activate this. So if I'm doing this, I'm jumping, I'm wasting my energy. I'm not actually able to proc Virtuous Shadow that way. I have to be moving. But I think my shield's actually going to disappear before. Oh. No teleport? That's alright. Like I said, guys, like, we're not robots. Okay, for example, I might not have a shield to shoot through on these. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it left. I'm gonna shoot. Look, 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 I dashed right down. Whisper spawning in the exact same spot because that's where the island's hitbox is. I just dashed straight down. If you're not moving, you won't have a chance to activate it. But you just have to be moving. I didn't have a wisp, that's alright. Wisp is ×2 damage, guys. And everyone wants to be getting one. So get one early, maybe, or get one late. It doesn't matter. They're both 12 seconds long. And them both being 12 seconds long allows you to get one before or after the other one. Because you gotta get one first, of course. And they just all spawn between the island's legs. Get one, get out of there. The more you get, the more you're hindering the team, because everyone needs one. Especially on like a 5x3 or lower. Sorry, a 6x3 or sorry, a 4x3 or lower. That's really what like everybody needs to be shooting. You might not have the right amp, you might not, or like whatever. It's and not only the 177 can do this. I mean, realistically, a 127 can do this, or 123 can do this. Because I'm prime. Do you ever see me use my Propa? Let's be real. I barely ever use my Propa. And like I said, Propa is hit scan. So with it being hit scan, as soon as he's vulnerable, I can shoot. But Propa I have to shoot a little bit before. Oh, he's taking a bath. Waterlons. He's waterlogged. Oh, look at that little wisp. Look at him. He's so cute. He's just laying there. Oh, just nom him right up. Alright. Put down my shields. Okay. I can't think of anything else that I really should be talking about on for Matarite Void Strike and Unara Wisp and all that stuff. Anything else, chat? Before I'll just cut this out, this little part. I don't have to edit once. It's nice. Think I got everything? Oh, yeah. So don't use vacuum. So vacuum will be okay. So having vacuum on your sentinel or even fetch on your pet, it's not going to help you at all. What that does is that it will not allow you to. It'll take all the wisps. So this wisp that I'm picking up and I'm saying everyone needs one. That's 100% extra damage at the end of equation. That's really potent with your amp for the next 12 seconds. But if I, for example, have vacuum or fetch on, what's going to happen is it's going to suck up all the wisps. And that's no good at all. Because now your teammates are not going to have any wisps to shoot. I dislike it too, but that's not something that I shouldn't have in the. I should have in it. So I will say this on that part though. Using Cosmic Crush on your Itzel is great in a lot of times. It honestly is great 90% of the time. The one problem with it that I have is people using it as host. So if host vacuums up loot, it all goes to where host vacuumed. But if a client does it, the loot does not move. If host, this is gone. Hydro, okay. If host does it, then all the loot from the gate it'll all move. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, host, don't grab the loot right away. Just vacuum it in an obscure place. See how all the loot moved? But not all of it, just some of it. This is what causes confusion 90% of the time. It doesn't matter where he did this. It's maybe the arcane's over here, or maybe the loot that the shard that you have to put in to the shrine goes over there, and you didn't pick it up because you see, and all of it was right here. You might have missed that one, and then you go and do your thing. That's the big part of it is. But when client vacuums the loot, it does not move for anyone else. And host, you can tell who host is by the little number 1 beside their name, because they are the one hosting this session. You know, so that was, I guess, a 5x3 in there. It took me about 50 minutes to explain all the tips about virtuous shadow and wisp and stuff. But hey, you know what? I'm just going to put this in as a raw cut, and I hope you guys liked it.
Hey.
Oh, thank you for the sub. Thank you so much, man. Abu Weasel, easy. Thank you. Welcome to the stream, and you guys have a great one. So here's that guide I was explaining, and it's basically just, well, this is for Raplac, a crit of Raplac. If you have a wisp or a shield, you need so much. If you have a wisp and shield, you need this much. And these are the numbers that I was explaining before, the 5.5 and the 8.11 and the 10.5. And that's on each of the Eidolons, of course. And it shows you really what like what you need, like, on anything. Okay, but now that in the game there is a damage plus. And here's the damage plus. And it's just the numbers with damage plus. Super easy. And yeah. There you guys go. I hope that helps you out. And see you in the next one. Don't forget to check out my YouTube. Check out my Twitch, because I'm streaming this on Twitch. I'm giving this to you on YouTube. So yes, check it out there. We got merch if you guys are interested in that. It's Eidolon merch. Basically, it's a kitty in a pajama onesie, but it's a Warframe onesie. I don't know. It's beautiful. So I will be catching you guys on Twitch, because my regular is on Twitch every day. And hope you guys have a good one. Toodles.